All right, in this video, I'm going to go over the actual shop floor layout out there on our shop, and we're going to label some of the equipment that we have to help you get to know the equipment that is available to you. Now, this is also designed to kind of help give you a little bit of an introduction to start kind of reading some shop floor plans. So we're going to draw up a floor plan so you can get a little bit of experience with what a floor plan looks like and how to do that. It's going to be a sketch, so we're going to want to try to maintain some scale and proportion as we do this. But it will also, the main reason we're doing this is so that you can identify and be able to name correctly all of the different pieces of equipment that we have in the shop out there. So the first thing that I'm going to do as we go through is I'm going to basically define the outside walls, or the walls of the shop. And if we take a look at that, we'll see that the shop area is basically kind of a big rectangle. So now, our CAD class, where I'm standing right now, is down over here. So as we walk out into the ag shop, there's a doorway right here that goes into the woods lab. So, and we note that by two little tick marks that indicates that that is a door opening. So that's kind of a common architectural drafting symbol that's used in our pictures. So now, if you remember from when you've been out there, you'll also remember that in this back corner of the wood shop is a big garage door too. So I'm going to also put two tick marks right there to indicate that's the garage door to go outside. Now, while I mentioned the general area of the shop is a rectangle, we do have some a little storage closet in there too, and that takes up about 1/3 of the length of this sidewall. I'm going to draw that in there. Now, for you that don't know, this is our hardwood storage area. So we're going to put that's our hardwood storage. So we keep all of that there. We keep cutoffs. We keep our lumber. So we'll store all that in there. And when we go to do the clock project, when we make that out of oak, we'll go and get all of the oak that we need out of there as well. And that's our hardwood storage area. Now, I'm going to start with what I think is the most important piece of equipment out there, and that is our work tables or our workbenches. So we have 5 of them right now. So they are square in shape, so they're down here. So it's 2. So there, we got another one that's kind of right here like this. Now notice as I'm doing this, you want to try to maintain scale and proportion of these work tables and these tools. Some of the equipment is bigger, some of it is smaller. So we're going to try to maintain these correct proportions or the relationship between one item to another as we do this shop floor layout. I'm just going to, up here we'll label this wood shop floor layout. Our floor layout. And this is pretty common in industry and shop areas. You want to kind of identify where you're putting machinery and equipment, kind of work out flow pattern and what makes it easier to use equipment, or a procedure or process where you can logically flow from one area to another as you move wood from start to finish to get things done. So those are our 5 workbenches or tables. My favorite machine is right down here. It's a pretty big, large machine. That is our CNC router. So I'm going to label that CNC router. So CNC stands for computer numeric control. You'll use that to put your clock face on. We can use that to put your name, kind of carve your name and other stuff into projects. Or we can use that to actually make parts of projects complete too. So there's lots of use there for the CNC router. Right next to this table, another fairly decent sized piece of equipment is our Powermatic bandsaw. Probably one of the newer bandsaws that we have, or it's a pretty big and along the same lines, we have a smaller bandsaw over here. That's a Delta, a little bit smaller capacity. Nice little bandsaw for doing small parts and projects as well. So that's there. Along this wall, we have several different tool storage cabinets. So we're just going to kind of make that one long block, even though it's, I believe it's like 3 or 4 cabinets. And that's our tool storage cabinets. So that's where you're going to go when you need hand tools. They're stored in there. When you need different supplies, sanding paper, and so forth, that is all kept in those tool storage cabinets as well. We also have 2 cable saws. They are called saw stops. So I'll label this. So these are table saw here, and we got a table saw here. So we've got 2 saw stop table saws right there, kind of in the center of the lab. So they're very good machines and workhorses. As we move behind this table saw, there's a yellow machine. That is the Powermatic planer. P-L-A-N-E-R, P-L-A-N-A-R. You can spell it either way, but that is a planer. That's a beginning tool where we use that to kind of cut faces of the board and get them parallel to each other when we have raw stock that we need to bring down to a certain thickness. So that's our planer. Next to the planer, we have what is referred to as a jointer, and that's a longer machine. So I'm going to kind of spell this here like this: jointer, J-O-I-N-T-E-R. Notice I'm labeling these, so I want you to label it as well. It's going to help you to learn what these particular pieces of equipment are. So over here on the wall where our wood storage area is, we've got a nice long piece of equipment. This is also one of our workhorses. That is our radial arm saw, R-A-D-I-A-L, radial arm saw. So, and we cut a lot, we cross-cut a lot of long boards. We'll cut long boards down to shorter lengths on that particular piece of equipment there as well. So you'll get to learn how to use that one here too. So back here, next to the garage door, is another bandsaw, probably the oldest bandsaw that we have in the shop. It's another Powermatic. It was probably made back in the 50s or 60s, but man, those Powermatics are good machines. They really, really hold up to wear and use. So I really like that Powermatic bandsaw. It's a good one. So on this wall here, we have 2 more machines that are kind of long. Those are our wood lathes. So that's L-A-T-H-E, pronounced the lathe, wood lathes. So those are responsible for cutting round parts like your table legs or baseball bats. We can cut those and make those type of wood products on those lathes. In the far corner, we got 1 right here in this corner, and we've got 2 over in this corner. Those are our drill presses. Now I'm going to draw what I refer to as a leader line and just kind of put that out here. So this is a drill press. So we have 3 drill presses out there as well. You'll learn how to use those to drill holes. You'll learn about the operating speeds and feeds and how to change those as well. So that's kind of the basics there. We also have a couple of router tables that you might use to put some trim molding on your clock when we get to that project. There's 2 of them. They're kind of back to back here in this area. They're smaller. I'm going to label those here with a leader line as well. That's called a router tables. So we'll set those up. They're kind of, they get a lot of use too, and they've got a definite function to use and a definite place in a wood shop as well. So we have a very well-equipped shop with lots of equipment out there for us to use. Lots of stuff that you need to know and get to know in terms of how to safely use and operate this equipment, and how to set it up and how to make sure that you are getting the most out of it and doing a good job and getting nice, good projects out of it. So that's part of what we're going to be using. When we get to that clock project, you're going to be using the radial arm saw, you'll use the jointer, planer, and the table saw. So you're going to get some hands-on experience with a little bit. In this class, we'll use the CNC router, but for the most part, we're going to show you how to kind of create some designs and how to program that. But Miss Walter Harris and I will basically kind of be the ones that are setting it up, and you'll stand there with the button to make sure that it doesn't crash and run it. But it won't be until another further class where you actually learn how to set up and operate that particular piece of equipment. But still, you got a lot of other pieces of equipment here to get to know over the course of the next 9 weeks. So I'm looking forward to it. Write this down. Make sure that you know. I will take a picture of this and submit that picture for you too, just so you have it as a reference. You are responsible to be able to identify and know what each of these pieces of equipment in the wood shop are there as well. So take a look, and I'll probably at some point make a little video just kind of walking through and showing you that equipment as well, so that if you are remote learning where you haven't been into the wood lab yet to see it, that will help you understand and know more about that equipment as well.